Hello everyone, welcome back to yet another lonely farmer survival series inside of this beautiful Minecraft world. In last week's episode, we took a lot of time to build this cute little cow pen, which slowly is gonna house more and more cows. And talking about building, my friends, today I would love to tackle the biggest project of this lonely farmer series by expanding our farming village even more and building a beautiful bakery. Oh, and also a quick reminder that if you like this kind of content and haven't already, why not subscribe to the Lonely channel? I post videos like these every single week, and of course I would really love to have you around. But before we start building this bakery, we're gonna need to gather plenty of items. And before we do that, I would like to work on a couple chores just so we can slowly bring this Minecraft world forward. Starting of course while I'm here by grabbing some of this wheat and using it to feed the cows so they can make a baby and we can have 4 cows inside of this pen. And I'm gonna come back here and there to grow this number even more. Now with the cows taken care of, I'm gonna grab some more axes, and it seems like I'm gonna need to make some more so that I can go and chop all of these spruce trees down to get a ton of spruce logs. And the reason why I made so many axes is because we're gonna go through them very fast. And of course I cannot forget about my hunger, since Ultramine drains it very fast as well. And now with all of the spruce trees chopped down, let's pick up all of the items that dropped. And this gave us plenty of spruce, and of course spruce saplings, which would be a good idea to plant back down so that we don't ever run out of spruce. And as always, I'm gonna put the saplings in an alternating pattern like this to prevent big spruce trees from growing and turning all of the grass into potsoil. And now as that's growing, I'm gonna make my way back to the barn where I can drop all of this beautiful spruce. And although I do have a lot of oak, I don't know if it's gonna be enough for the bakery. So I'm gonna make my way towards the boat, jump on it, and go towards our little oak island. And since it is getting nighttime, before chopping down any trees, we should probably sleep the night, and in this beautiful morning, we can start chopping. And I think the first thing that I'm gonna do is get rid of all of the leaves so that I can get to the oak much more easily. And I do only have 2 toast left, and just like this we completely run out of food. So before my hunger gets too low, I'm gonna have to make some more food. And seeing as we did plant all of these saplings quite recently, not many have grown. So I think for now I'm gonna be satisfied with these stacks of oak, and I'm gonna wait for the rest to grow before continuing the chopping. So for now we can plant some of the saplings back down to maximize the yield of this farm. And now with everything planted, we can hop back inside the boat, make our way back to the barn, and drop all of the stuff that we do not need for now. And indeed, we're just left with 2 axes. So let me empty my inventory, grab some stone hoes that we can then equip in our offhand, just so we can go grab all of this wheat. And just like that, all of the field is not only harvested, but also planted. So we can leave the seeds inside of this barrel, pick up some of the remaining wheat from last time, which gives us nearly 1.5 stacks of wheat. And now combining that with the wheat next to our house, we can turn everything into bread, put it inside the smoker, and let it turn into toast. And now as that's cooking, I would love to gather all of the materials that I need to build this bakery, because I spent the last few hours designing a beautiful little build that I really think you're gonna like. And then of course I saved it into a Lightmatica schematic that's gonna make building this thing so much easier and also a lot of fun. But I don't want to get ahead of myself, so let's see if I can find some chests. There we go. Now we can put them down, I guess somewhere around here. I'm gonna put 3 just in case. And now I have a massive list of items, so let's make our way down the list one by one. And then of course we're gonna gather together the items that I didn't have. The first thing that I need is gonna be a ton of oak slabs, 4 stacks to be exact. Then I'm glad we got all of this spruce, since we're also gonna need a ton of spruce trapdoors. So let's make a lot of planks that we can then convert to plenty of spruce trapdoors. And I just have to do that some more times to get around 3 stacks that we can then put right beside the slabs. Now back to the oak, I'm gonna need 3 stacks of stripped oak logs, which means I'm gonna need some more axes. So let's make a few, and since my hunger is very low right now, let's grab all of this yummy toast and bring it all the way up to full. Now I'm really wondering, if I place them down like this, am I able to strip them all at once? Yes. Alright, so this is actually going to make stripping all of these oak logs much easier. Let's start by placing everything down. And night is coming quite fast, so I do want to watch out not to stay up too late. And yes, it's definitely time to sleep. And on this beautiful day, we can keep placing down oak. And this is nearly the 3rd stack. And with the last block down, if I'm not mistaken, we should be able to just strip 64 blocks at once. And yes, indeed. So let's keep doing this all around. And now we can simply pick everything back up. And just like this, we have 3 stacks of stripped oak logs. Now we're gonna need 2 stacks of oak planks, and since we're gonna need a lot of bricks, it's not a bad idea to convert the bricks that we have into actual bricks, put everything we have inside of this chest, and of course use these furnaces to gather all of this iron. Wow, I completely forgot we had this here. And of course melt all of this clay. Well, I'm very happy to know that we have so much iron, because we're actually gonna need a lot of it for this build. And for now, I'm also gonna get rid of all of these stone hoes, but of course keep all of these axes, and maybe also grab a shovel just in case we need one in the future. And now we can keep gathering the items that we need, including 1.5 stacks of spruce stairs. Might as well make 2. Now with some of the iron that we gathered, I'm gonna make some shears that we can then use to gather some oak leaves. And because I do not want to touch all of the oak trees that we have next to our farms, I'm gonna go back to our oak farm and take the leaves from here. I think 2 stacks should be more than enough, so let's make our way back to the barn, and of course back to the chests, where we can put the oak leaves inside. Now we are gonna need a ton of sand, and I'm very happy to see that we have a massive sand island right there, and thanks to ultramine, this shouldn't really take too long. Let me just make sure I have enough space in my inventory, yes, and now we can work our way from the top of this little sound mountain and all the way down. And with all of this sand, I just have to grab 3 stacks of sandstone. And there we go. Now we can make our way back home, empty our inventory, and look who just showed up. What do you have to sell, my friend? Some blue ice, and even blue orchids. I just wish I had some emeralds, but unfortunately I do not. And there we go. Thank you very much for those 2 leads. Now with 10 leads, it's gonna be so easy once we build more animal farms. Anyways, for now we can put the sand and the sandstone inside the chests, and keep making our way down the list. With 1 stack of oak stairs, 1 stack of oak trapdoors, 35 spruce fence gates, some spruce fences. Now we can check on the clay to see how it's going. Alright, very good indeed. So let's make some more bricks, and we're definitely gonna need much more. So for now, let's put them all inside of the chest, get rid of some items from our inventory, and I think I would love to scour the rivers to see if I can find some more clay, just like this one right here. And I think I'm gonna try to get around 5 to 6 stacks of clay, so that as we gather the other items, it can slowly keep smelting. Alright, I'm gonna grab one last patch right here, and this should be plenty to give us a ton of clay. And now with nearly 10 stacks of clay, we can probably start making our way back home. So while I'm here, I'm gonna fill the furnaces with clay, and it seems like I'm gonna need quite a lot more coal, but I think we do have a little bit inside this chest right here. So we can convert this block of coal into actual coal and give these furnaces half a stack each. And for now I'm gonna put the bricks inside here with the clay, and why not the coal as well. Now I can eat this apple for good luck and keep gathering the items that we need, including some more spruce slabs. We are also going to need 17 lanterns, so I do hope that the irons that we have inside the chest is actually going to be enough. And yes, my friends, this is really good. Let me just make this strictly necessary so that I can turn the rest of the nuggets back into iron ingots, because I'm sure we're gonna need more iron to craft some of the items that we need for the bakery. Now we can put the 70 lanterns right here, grab the shears, and find as much wool as we can. Finally, this black sheep is very useful. We should have some more sheep on this hill, and not only am I gonna need a lot of wool, I'm also gonna need some dye. So I'm gonna be on the lookout for some flowers that we can use to make light blue dye. And I didn't even see it, but there's a cow right here next to the cow pen, so maybe later we can put it inside. That's one more sheep right here, and another one right next to it. And with the shears, we're actually getting 3 wool every time, which is really great. We just got grey wool, some more white wool, and yeah, we're definitely gonna need some more. And the black sheep just grew back its wool, so I'm gonna grab it a second time, and hopefully there's some sheep on the island next to our barn. Yes, there's one right there that we can grab. And I'm surprised that the wolves didn't see the sheep yet. Let's hope it stays that way. Let's move on to the other side of the river, where hopefully we can find some more sheep. And yes, my friends, quite a lot of sheep actually. We also just got some brown wool, and although I need white wool and light blue wool, I'm pretty sure I can dye the wool any color that I want. What's important, of course, is that I do have enough wool to dye. And with this day coming to a close and some more sheep to shear, we have successfully gathered nearly 1 stack of wool, which hopefully is gonna be enough. Now I'm gonna try my luck with these eggs right next to the barn. Let's see if there are some chickens that spawn, and no, not even one. Alright, maybe next time. Hello my friends, I wanted to pause the video a little bit just to let you know that if you're going through something right now, it's gonna be alright, and that although it may not seem like it, these feelings will not last forever. And if there is any family or friend that you can reach out to, I highly suggest you do so you can go through this together. Well, anyway, you are awesome. Let's get back to the video. Now I'm I'm very curious. I'm gonna take some blue dye and see if we can turn this black wool into blue wool. And indeed we can. So for now I don't need to do that, but let's put all of the wool inside of this chest and just grab 11 that we can add to this chest. Now I'm gonna grab some oak to make some planks, to make some slabs, and of course to make some barrels that we're gonna be using for decoration inside of the bakery. Now I'm gonna need some sticks to make some ladders, which are gonna be useful for accessing the second floor of the bakery. Now on the topic of oak, I'm gonna convert some of it into oak wood, and I'm gonna need to place 8 on the ground, strip it, and pick it back up, and we can then put it inside of this chest. Now I'm gonna convert it into oak planks, make 5 chests, and put these chests, you guessed it, inside of this one chest. And now with some of the bricks that we're smelting, let's first of all add some more clay inside of the furnaces, and I'm gonna need to make 3 flower pots, and also 1 decorated pot, which I never used in Minecraft, so I'm excited to give it a try. We can place those right here. I'm gonna make even more bricks, since we're gonna need quite a lot. And now we're getting into the very low numbers, which are just the blocks that I use for interior decoration. So let's craft them one by one, my friends, shall we? First of all, I'm gonna grab this sand, convert it into sandstone, and then into sandstone slabs, which we can add right here. Now I'm gonna need some more spruce logs to convert it into spruce wood that we can place down, strip, and pick it back up. And of course, inside the chest it goes. Now with some oak slabs and some spruce, I can make some composters and some spruce cabinets, and of course we can put both inside of the chest. I'm also gonna need some spruce doors and an amethyst cluster, which I don't think we can craft, so we're probably going to have to go back inside of the mine. And if I'm not mistaken, I think I found a silk touch hoe, there it is, inside the chest of this nether portal, and now I'm quite grateful to have it. I will also need a brewing stand, which although I did not go to the nether, there are so many villages around here that I'm pretty sure we're gonna find one. But before venturing into the unknown, let's gather all the items that we already have. So I'm gonna need to make some more furnaces, and with this coal we can place them down temporarily right here, fill them up, and put cobblestone inside of them, since we are gonna need some stone buttons. And of course I'm gonna grab one of the stone, make my way towards my stone cutter, which now that I think about it, I don't actually think we ever made a stone cutter. So instead let me just grab some more stone with some of this iron, and of course make our very first stone cutter that, as always, I wanna place right on top of our crafting table, and this one already has a cutting board on top, so I'm just gonna place it right next to it. And now we can make some stone slabs, and indeed thanks to the new recipe unlocked, we can make a nice grindstone that we can place inside of the chest. We're also gonna need a crafting table, 1 campfire, and with some of the iron, I'm also gonna need to make a cauldron. And now since these 2 furnaces stopped smelting, it would not be a bad idea to grab some more clay and smelt it inside of these furnaces. So every furnace cycle, we can actually make 1 brick block. Now I'm gonna need some cobblestone to make a lever, and I'm also gonna need to make a tripwire hook, which unlocks the recipe for the trap chest. But this can go inside the chest for now. And by the looks of it, I'm also gonna need a second stone cutter, so let's quickly craft one and bring it inside of the chest. Now I'm just missing an oak fence, and with some straight spruce I can make 2 chains and a spruce hanging sign. And now of course let's put this item in the chest before I completely forget. Now let me see how to make a juicer, since that's another one of the blocks that we need, and it seems like I haven't unlocked the recipe yet. Let me quickly check the just enough items mod. I'm really curious what we're missing. Alright, well we should be able to craft it, so let's just grab 1 barrel, and we conveniently have just enough iron. So let's go ahead and craft it so that we unlock the recipe and place it inside of the chest. And now I am gonna need 2 bookshelves, which means that we can hopefully go towards our little sugarcane farm, which I've been planting here and there. Grab some of the sugarcane, and seeing as we do have a cow pen now, I would love to go look for some more cows in the wild so that we can grab the leather that we need to make all of those books. And while I'm here, I'm also gonna grab all of the sugarcane, and my friends, we just unlocked a new recipe. What did we get? Oh my god, we got hops, which I'm pretty sure that we can use to craft some beer, but we're not there yet. Anyways, with 38 sugarcane and 6 leather, it should be more than enough to make our books, and we just unlocked a new recipe with olive. Oh wow, that's actually very exciting. Let's grab some more. I think it's this one here, so we can make some olive oil and finally cook some more complicated meals. Well, as I was saying, let's make our way back home, and I'm actually out here, so it would not be a bad idea to shear some more sheep, since we are gonna need a lot of wool, and I would rather not run out. And yet another day draws to a close, my friends, as we gather all of the items that we need to build this bakery. So now I can empty all my inventory to make sure it's nice and clean, turn all of the sugarcane into paper, and we can indeed make 6 books. And now with some oak planks, we can make 2 bookshelves that we can add to this chest right here. Alright, so now for the more complicated items that we need to build this bakery, I'm gonna need to check some recipes. Starting with this basket right here, which unfortunately needs bamboo. And I don't think we have that yet, but we do have a massive jungle right here, so I would be very surprised if we find absolutely no bamboo inside of it. And indeed, there's one. So let me just quickly make my way towards it, chop it down, make my way back home, plant one of them down for good luck. And now I need to find a way to make this canvas, which means I need to find a way to make these straws, which come from straw bales. Oh no, there you go, cutting board. So all we have to do is just cut some wild rice. Biggest question is, do we have some wild rice? Alright, it doesn't look like it. Just wondering though, I did plant some rice in one of these fields. Yes, there we go. Can that do to make straw or not? No, right, I don't think so, seeing as it's not a plant, it's just rice. Well, alright, we'll get back to that. So now we're gonna need a bunch of hay bales. So let's start harvesting this field to grab as much wheat as possible. And of course, this includes the field next to our house on both sides. And of course, the field inside of our cow pen, which brings us to over 1 stack of wheat. So now if we make our way towards the crafting table, we can make 11 hay bales. Well, there's just 50 more to go. So for now, let's just clean up our inventory, and since this chest is completely full, we can start this second chest by putting the hay bales inside of it. Now I want to go check on the clay, because yes, everything is melted, so we can replace everything, convert all of these bricks into brick blocks, and thanks to this stone cutter we can finish crafting all of the bricks that we need. And there we go, we can add the brick stairs and the brick slabs. We're also gonna need some wheat seeds, because you can be sure that I'm gonna plant another field right by our bakery, and I'm also gonna need to grab some more of this sand, convert some of it into sandstone, and of course smelt both the sandstone to make smooth sandstone and the sand to make glass. Now as the furnaces are working, I want to make my way back inside of the mine, which I kind of completely forgot where it is. But yes, that's true, it's actually on the other island, inside of a little cave, which we dug out ourselves. There it is. So the reason why I'm going down is because I'm going to need a ton of granite and diorite, and I hope to find it down inside of this mine. Indeed, there's some diorite right in front of me, but because I'm a little scared to unveil a ton of caves, like I just did, this may not actually be the best place to mine for diorite and granite. So I'm just gonna wait for this water to leave, and I can make my way back up, and roughly around here we can dig a quick tunnel with the torches in our offhand, of course, and hopefully we run into some diorite or some granite. Mainly granite, of course, since I'm gonna be needing a ton of it, and since I do have ultramine, I'm gonna mine a quick tunnel, and hopefully we're gonna find some diorite. Well, I'm very happy that we found some iron, so let's gather everything, and I do not want to forget to light up the area. And yes, indeed, some diorite right here, I did not even see that, but let's just keep going forward to light up the whole area so that no mobs can spawn. And there we go, this is the end of it. So now we can make our way back and mine all of this beautiful diorite. And I do hope that as we mine the diorite, we're also gonna encounter some nice granite. And seeing as I really do not want to break my diamond pickaxe, because we're gonna need it to find some more diamonds, I'm gonna make my way back up onto the surface, put the diorite that I just gathered inside of this chest, and instead grab a ton of cobblestone with some sticks and make a bunch of pickaxes that we can hopefully then use to gather some diorite. And I also wonder if we can find some diorite inside some of these rivers, since we can easily see everything. Maybe we have more luck on the other side, since it is a much bigger river and it goes a lot deeper. Can't see much, but yes, my friends, there is some granite. Let's see if we can quickly gather some. And I just realized I used my diamond pickaxe when I wanted to use my stone pickaxe instead. Now let's keep gathering, and I want to do my best not to drown inside of this river, and it's already time to go to sleep. And we just gathered one stack, gotta make my way down and keep gathering some more. And I think I'm gonna turn on the hitboxes, seeing how it's very dark down here, so that I can make sure not to miss any of this beautiful granite. Alright, so we have quite a lot of stacks of granite now, which means it's completely safe to make our way back home and get rid of most of these stone pickaxes, which I'm sure are gonna come in very handy later on. And now using our stone cutter, we can slowly make all the granite variations that we need. And just like that, we can turn off the hitboxes. We have 2 stacks of granite slabs, 1 stack of granite, 1 stack of polished granite, and 1 stack of polished diorite, and finally 7 granite stairs. And that's all that we need, which is so exciting, my friends, because slowly but surely we've nearly gathered all the items that we need. So inside of these furnaces we have some glass and some smooth sandstone. All that we are missing is some coal, but I'm going to need plenty of glass panes, 32 to be exact, which we can add to the chest. Now for now I'm gonna put the smooth sandstone and the glass inside this chest, and it would probably be a good idea to go look for some coal. And I do wonder if the same way that we found the granite inside of the water, we can also find some coal. Well, let's go check. It's definitely very dark in here, which makes it quite hard to see the ores. And I'm very happy that there's some of these magma blocks, so that we don't have to worry about running out of breath. Alright, there's some coal up here, but I don't like how deep we are, so let's just take a breather and then make our way down, where we can hopefully safely grab all of this coal. And my friends, I'm a little bit far, so you know what, maybe it's actually better to find another little vein. And we might actually get lucky exactly where we found the granite by digging a small tunnel, and Yes, there we go. Very, very lucky indeed. And we also found some iron. So let me just continue this small tunnel so that we can light everything up and then we can gather all the iron. And apparently some more coal with it. And I think 40 is plenty for now. So I'm gonna make my way back to the surface very slowly. Add this coal inside of the furnace with the sandstone. And let's also make some more glass. And I'm gonna add the rest to this clay right here. And I'm sure that we're gonna need some more later on. But I do believe that this is all the smelting that we need to do for now. And of course I do not want to forget, with the help of 7 stones, to make 7 stone buttons. I'm also gonna need some cobblestone. And I'm also gonna smelt all of this iron since we are going to need it for some more blocks. And since this brick has finished melting, we can replace it with the iron. And I did completely forget, but let me just grab this Silk Touch golden hoe, make my way back inside of the mine, because we're gonna need to make our way to the geode that we found in one of the previous episodes. There it is. And all we need is 1 amethyst cluster. And there we go. But since I'm here, wouldn't mind grabbing some more. And I think 10 should be more than enough. So we can make our way back up. And now back up, let's put the amethyst cluster inside of the chest. And we can also get all of this smooth sandstone and add it to our chest as well. Now I'm also gonna need some cabbage crates and some onion crates. So let me quickly see how to make those. Alright, very, very easily. So the cabbages should be on this side of the farm, right here. Yes. And I don't think I planted the onions yet. So since we do not have a lot of green onions, I wouldn't mind for now mixing them with onions, just so we can work our way up to the onion crate. But here goes the cabbage crate. Not even. I think the issue is that we need Farmer's Delight cabbages and not Croptopia's cabbages. Let's see really quick. We should have some. So let's plant them down and allow them to grow. Let me see though if I can make my bag of rice. Yes, I do have a lot of rice, but as always I am wondering if we can use Croptopia's rice. So with the rice at hand, let's make our way to our crafting table where hopefully no, we cannot do that either. Well, it just means that we're gonna need to find some more Farmer Delight crops. But for now, let me grab some eggs with some wheat because I need to gather all of the ingredients to make a delicious cake. And I also need 3 milk buckets, which means unfortunately a lot of iron. But now that everything has melted, we can get rid of these furnaces and go check on our iron, which finished melting as well. Well, I guess let's start by making 2 extra buckets. I can also make 2 sugars and temporarily leave my water inside of the well. Make my way back to the cow pen where we can grab a ton of milk. And while we're here, why not feed the cows as well, but not before a good night's sleep. There we go. So that's 1 other baby. And where are the others? Oh, I did not think about this, but they can actually leave from here. So it seems like some cows are having the time of their lives. Escaping the pen, and they can't even get back in. So let me just increase this fence by 1, like so. Or actually, the best thing to do would be to remove this stair. And now we shouldn't have an issue anymore. But to grab all of the cows that just escaped, we can finally make use of all those leads that the wandering trader so kindly gives us. And while I'm next to a crafting table, let's make the cake, which I think is the first cake that I ever crafted in Minecraft, and we can place it safely inside the chest. Alright, now let's go rescue our cows. That's 1, and that's 2, and that's 3. So we can bring them down and back around, and I'm gonna have to get rid of this fence, open this fence gate and bring them in. Now I can place it back down and all of the cows are safely inside of the pen and we can feed them all. And great, with this little cow adventure over, let's make some more items, starting with 3 stoves, and all we need are 3 campfires to craft our 3 stoves. A lot easier than I expected. And we should also probably cut this bamboo down and plant some more so that it can keep growing and give us plenty of beautiful bamboo. And I don't want to forget to put these 3 stoves inside of the chest. Alright my friends, we're really not missing much, so I think it's time that we make our way towards a village, and hopefully as we do that, we're going to come across some rice and some cabbages, which means that I'm gonna need to punch some seeds here and there. We just found some yams, and I might also grab some more sugarcane, since I'm pretty sure we use most of it for making those bookshelves, and I genuinely have no idea where we can find some wild rice. And I also have no idea how it looks like, so even if I come across it, I wouldn't really know how to recognize it. I really just hope it's gonna look like wild rice. And somewhere around here, there should be a very big village. Oh, and another thing that I really want to grab is some flowers for some blue dye. What do we have here? Some wild carrots. That's really cool. This is barley, right? Yes. Here's some blue dye. And is this? Not right. This is asparagus. So we just have to make our way across this mountain where we can find 2 villages if I remember correctly. And conveniently, some more blue dye as well. All I will be missing to make my blue dye is some white dye. So I think as soon as I get back home, I'm gonna make some bone meal by composting all of the wheat seeds that I have. Then with the bone meal we can quickly make some white dye. And these flowers are so misleading since they look white but they actually make light grey dye, which is a little bit of a shame. And I think my friends that I did not remember correctly, seeing how I cannot see a village at all around here. But anyways, I do want to make my way forward. And is this wild rice? No, this is still asparagus. They really do look similar if you ask me. We have a beautiful sunflower field right there. Some more blue flowers, which I don't mind if I do. And then a abandoned nether portal, which I do believe we've already looted, but let's just go towards it just in case we haven't. And yes, we most definitely have. Well, not to fear, let's just keep going forward and hopefully we find what we're looking for. And it's moments like these that having a trusty steed would be very nice indeed. But seeing as I haven't found a saddle yet, that's gonna have to wait. And I'm gonna have to keep jumping all around to find this village. If anything, I do wanna gather this coal since it's right here on the surface. And I also did not think about it, but we're gonna run out of food pretty soon. So hopefully I find a village by then. Well, here's some more coal and a massive cave, which I'm gonna do my best to avoid, and a lot more coal right here, which is always nice to see. And my friends, we just found an amazing village. Now all we have to do is hope that they do have a brewing stand. And while we're at it, why not some rice as well? Apparently the town is called Murfield. Let's see if it lives up to this name. Well, I didn't think about it, but we can actually grab all of these hay bales. And I also want to get rid of all of the items that I don't need to free my inventory a little bit. And now let's explore the village and see what it has to offer. Oh wow, my friends, bread and emeralds and other things that we can leave here for now. But with 8 emeralds, I'm very happy. I'm also gonna grab this stone cutter since they're a little bit expensive. And let's be real, I don't think the villagers are really going to mind. And my friends, I think that's everything, unfortunately. Although there is a sign right here. I guess this is how we're able to name zones in Minecraft. Well, that's very good to know. Although for now, I am a little bit sad that we didn't find any brew stand at all. But it might be worth it while I'm here to grab this lectern and these bookcases and see if there's any other village that we can explore. And yes, my friends, right there in the distance, there's yet another village. So we do not have to give up hope just yet that we're gonna find a brewing stand. So let's make our way towards it, sleep the night, and I can't believe that we still haven't found any rice. Anyways, here we are inside of the new village called Hillford, so let's explore it a little bit. And by explore it, of course, I mean steal everything that it has. The good old-fashioned Minecraft way. But this village is definitely much bigger than the other one. It's got a ton of hay bales, so I hope that at the very least, if we cannot find a brewing stand, we can grab all the hay bales that we need. And worst comes to worst, I wouldn't mind replacing the brewing stand and all of the blocks that we were not able to gather with some other interesting blocks. And we just found a compass, my friends, inside of the cartographer's house, which I hope is gonna be very useful for finding our way back home. I'm also gonna grab this stone cutter and keep exploring this village and looting all of its goods. And my friends, I must admit that I'm gonna be very surprised if this massive village does not have one single brewer, because it definitely has a lot of hay bales. And just like that, we have all the hay bales that we need to finish the build, but I do wanna grab as much as I can, seeing how bread and toast is our primary source of food. Well, my friends, I cannot believe it, but it seems like there's absolutely no brewer around this village either. And I do not see any more villages around, so it might be a good idea to make our way to the ocean, where we can grab some oak logs, convert them into planks, to make a crafting table, and of course make a boat that we can then use to make our way back home. Well, my friends, this is gonna take some time, so I'll see you when we get there. And my friends, I might have spoken too soon, because what do we have here? I really hope these flowers allow us to get some light blue dye, because it means that we do not even need white dye anymore. Well, let's check. Indeed, my friends, white blue dye. So let's grab as many as we can. I'm also gonna grab my boat, and let's explore these swamps a little bit, seeing as I don't think I've explored the swamps yet, and maybe there's some useful items, like for example these blue orchids. Alright, well, we have 1 stack of them, so I don't think we really have to worry about blue dye anymore. And we also found an abandoned nether portal. Let's see if there's anything interesting inside of it. Well, some armor. I do need the boots, so I might as well equip them, but I already have everything else. If anything, I'm just gonna grab this obsidian so that I can get the achievement and put it back, since I don't really need it for now. And maybe it's not a bad idea, since it's so accessible, to grab this gold block. Alright, and back to adventure we go. I will let you know if I see anything interesting. Well, here we are back at the abandoned nether portal, and very soon, back inside our little house. And now that we are back home, we can add the items that we need to build the bakery inside the chest, grab the wool, and make the remaining items that we need. There we go. I'm also gonna make some more food by cooking all of the bread that we found inside the villages. And now, although we are missing some items, my friends, I think we have everything that we need to actually build this bakery once and for all. And I already cleared out a massive area right here to make space for our spruce farm, so why don't we build the bakery here? All I have to do is load the schematic like I mentioned earlier, and I'm just gonna need a stick to control the placement. Now let's see, it's a very big building, so let's just put it down here and let's see if it fits correctly. Alright, yes, it really does, but I do want this to be the front, so I'm just gonna need to figure out a way to turn it. Alright, there we go. I do want it to be one block lower though, so maybe we can dig down a little bit and place it right here. Now looking at everything, I just want to make sure that we have enough space to build this, but I think everything is fine. So my friends, without any further ado, I really would love to make a little time lapse where we can finally build this bakery and put all of these hard-earned items to good use. Alright my friends, let's do this. Welcome back my friends. I always can't believe how easy these projects are with Lightmatica, and of course once we gathered all of the items. As you can see, we have a couple friends that spawned, but before fighting them I'm gonna wait for it to be nighttime, and actually I say this but my bed is right there. So let's grab the shield, equip it in our offhand and start fighting. Alright, this should be most of them, so let's sleep the night quickly, eat some food in the morning, and let's quickly see if there's anybody else before I can show you the bakery. Alright, I think it's completely fine. Well my friends, there you have it. It's not fully done yet, I thought we could finish it together, but it's practically all built. I think the first thing that I really want to do is terraform the area around it just a little bit to make it look much better inside the environment. And now we can just remove the grass in between. There we go. And just like that, it's already looking a lot better. And of course I do want to add some path blocks all around the build, which means we're gonna need one more shovel. And of course, I'm also gonna grab my hoe and my water bucket with some trapdoors, 2 to be exact, and of course the wheat seeds. Now right here next to these hay bales, I can make a hole, fill it with water, and top it off with a trapdoor. Now let's repeat the same exact thing on the opposite side, so that I can start tilling all of the soil, and of course plant all of the wheat seeds that I have. And just like that, the wheat field is completely done as well. So let's see if I can extend this path a little further before the shovel breaks. Now I also need to grab some more water from the river that I can add to this cauldron right here. And I'm also gonna flick this lever so it looks more like a faucet. And of course close this door. Now inside of it, although I think it looks really cool, there's still some things missing. So let's start adding them together and try to make this place look even better. Starting of course with some pots. And of course if we add pots, we will also need to add some flowers. So let's add some pots right here at the entrance with a blue flower, one more pot right here next to the ladder with a purple flower, and lastly one flower pot right here by the window with another blue flower. Now I'm gonna need some stone that I can smelt to make smooth stone, and as that's smelting, I think it's time that we cut down some of this bamboo, and yes, that's quite a lot. And now the stone should have smelted into smooth stone, and we can craft it right away into slabs. Then with some sticks, we can put them together in a crafting table to make an armor stand. And for now, because I don't really have any armor to put inside the armor stand, we can just place it down right here for when we have some. And making our way up all the way to the attic, it's still missing some crates, like the crates of cabbage and crates crates of onions that I mentioned earlier, but since we do not have any, for now this is going to have to do. And last but definitely not least, if we are able to craft it, that is, I would love to make a little villager plushie, and yes, I actually think we have everything that we need. 2 wheat, some wood, some emeralds, and a carved pumpkin. So let's grab 2 emeralds, 2 wheat, 1 pumpkin, 4 wool, and with the shears, we can place the pumpkin down and carve it, just like this, and sleep the night, of course, before any mobs start spawning. And now we should be able to put everything together to make this villager plushie, which apparently attracts animals. Which is very good for a bakery and for our farm in general. Alright, well, I think visitors should be greeted with this plushie as soon as they get in. So let's place it down right here, facing the door. And it's gonna be a little mascot. Well, my friends, this whole bakery is completely done, with a little shop at the front, beautiful wheat field in the back, and some more storage space on the corner. Now I think if there is anything missing, it's gonna be some smokers, so we can turn the bread into toast. And since I thought that we could use these stoves to cook our bread, it wouldn't be a bad idea to replace them with 3 beautiful smokers instead. And of course, I need to add some campfires on top so they work just a little bit faster. Now we can add the coal to each one of them, and also I wouldn't mind grabbing a chest that we can place right beside the smokers, maybe right here next to the ladder, where we can eventually store all the wheat and the bread and the toast that we make thanks to this wonderful bakery. Well, my friends, there's only one thing left to do before we end the episode, and that is to add one more meal to our meal barrel. Last week we made a delicious ratatouille, and I would love to see what we can make this episode. So let me quickly look for a new recipe that we can cook together. And alright, after some searching, I think it would be incredible to celebrate the bakery by making a quesadilla. So the first thing we're gonna need, quite conveniently, is some wheat. And while we're here, let's give some of it to the cows so that we can keep growing our pen. Now we can convert the wheat into flour, and with our frying pan and some water, we can make our very first tortillas. Let's make a couple so that we have some for the barrel and one for us to consume at the end of the episode. Now I also would love to grab the cooking pot with some of the salt, and with my 2 new buckets, it's time to make our way back inside the cow pen, where we can grab some milk and put everything together inside of a crafting table to make some delicious cheese. And again, I'm gonna make 2. Now all I'm missing are some avocados and some chicken, which should be somewhere around here. There it is, and here's the second one. And now we can make our way back to the bakery, where we can take advantage of the crafting table I placed inside to make a delicious quesadilla. And apparently it does make 2, so it means I'm just gonna make 4. So my friends, one of them can be put inside of our food barrel, and I literally just ate a lot of toast, so I'm not hungry anymore for quesadilla, but it really does look delicious. Well, my friends, with the quesadilla done and this beautiful bakery completely built, it's time to call it an episode. I wanna thank you all so very much for watching, and I really cannot wait to see you next week. We're gonna keep working on beautiful projects like this one. If you haven't already and like this kind of content, don't forget to subscribe. I post videos every single week, and of course I would love to have you around. And let me know in the comments, my friends, what you think about this bakery. I would love to know your opinion. As always, I did leave some handy links in the video description in case you would like to support the channel financially, and if you'd like to chat on Discord, I left the link to that in the video's description as well. Well, my friends, I want to wish you all an incredible day. My name is Lonely, and I will see you all very, very soon. Bye bye.